At the root of what is distracting, derailing, or distorting this next evolution of your work is a karmic knot. When you untangle it, everything else will follow, and you will be able to integrate the deeper transformational parts of your work, what I call the sacred, with the concrete or results-oriented parts of your work, what I call the strategic. And you'll be able to shift your business model so that it is structurally coherent with that integration. So how do you untangle your karmic knot? To untangle your karmic knot, you need a practice that operates outside of the necessary conditions of karma, which are time and mind. And you need a practice that operates through the essential elements of karma, which are energy and action, so that you can reach it, interrupt it, and untangle it. If you haven't yet been able to untangle the root of what's distracting and derailing you from the next evolution of your body of work, it is likely because your practices are not designed to untangle karma in this way. They operate within one of the conditions that give rise to karma and therefore keep it in place, or they do not operate through both of karma's essential elements, and therefore they are not working with your karma at all. Or both of these things are true about the current practices you've used. In other words, your current practice either isn't working with what your karmic knot is, or it's not reaching your karmic knot where it is. So you are doing all kinds of work, but you're not working where the root of it is or according to how it operates. I mean, no wonder you're frustrated. There is nothing wrong with your practices, and there's nothing wrong with you. They simply were not designed to untangle your karma. They were designed for something else, something you've already done, and that they have done effectively. They've gotten you here, and now you simply need a different practice that is designed to untangle a karmic knot. Today, I'm sharing an excerpt from my book, This Again, Untangle the Root of What Distracts and Derails You from Your Life's Work, on why and how a practice will successfully untangle your karmic knot. We will be using the practice of mantra and intention to untangle your karmic knots in my upcoming 3-part workshop series, Intention, Sacred Practice, and Strategic Precision. This series offers a progression of skill development and experiential wisdom that will grow your ability to effectively use your spiritual practice to evolve your body of work, while preserving the sacredness and integrity of the practice itself. You can click the link for the workshop series in the show notes to learn more, and feel free to reach out to me with questions or to help consider which option would be best for you. How do you untangle your karma? To untangle your karma, you need a practice that operates outside of the necessary conditions of karma, time and mind, and operates through the essential elements of karma, energy and action, so that you can reach it, interrupt it, and untangle it. You need to interrupt the necessary conditions of your karma, time and mind. To untangle your karma, you need to interrupt the conditions necessary for your karma to exist, time and mind. These are the conditions in which your karma operates. They are required for you to create it and for you to continue to experience it. Without them, it dissolves. For any practice to effectively untangle your karma, it must operate outside of time, and it must interrupt your identification with your mind, that habitual flux of your thoughts and feelings, so that you begin to root your identity in yourself and the sacred, and cultivate your capacity to act from there. Time.
Karma is a product of time. It exists within time, and it only exists within time. Its thread runs from the past into the future, binding you now to what has happened in the past. The present moment is where you untangle that thread so that you can weave it into another set of possibilities. When you are in the present moment, your karma no longer exists. It cannot reach you. That moment is out of time and outside of karma. Being present to the moment gives you the capacity to make a choice that is not bound by the accumulated pattern of your karma. And with that new choice of feeling, energy, or action, you change your karma. Being present to the moment also connects you to that which is timeless, that universal consciousness beyond space and time, from which everything arises and everything returns. It connects you to the sacred force of creation itself, its wisdom, its flow, its power. And it allows you to identify with what is timeless, universal, and sacred, to hear its wisdom and to act on that wisdom. Then you act without karma. Mind. While karma lives in your energy body and must be untangled there, it is your mind that most rigorously prevents you from untangling it. Because your mind is at the threshold between where your karma exists and where it does not, and therefore where and how you can or cannot untangle the root of what distracts and derails you. You experience your karma through your physical body, your energy body, and your mind. You do not experience your karma in your wisdom or your bliss. Your karma doesn't exist or operate on, in, or through those aspects of you. To untangle yourself from your karma, you unhook your identity from your mind and you yoke it to yourself and the sacred by accessing your wisdom and your bliss. It is your instinct to identify with your mind, that incessant, habituated pattern of your thoughts and feelings that stands between you and your wisdom, between you and your bliss, and therefore keeps you from untangling the root of what distracts and derails you. It is an intense challenge to cease identifying with your mind. For all the plasticity of your brain, there is a rigidity to your mind. It knows what it knows. It is certain of what it knows. And it is suspicious of what is new to it, what you cannot confirm with your 5 external senses, and what it cannot fully comprehend. It takes an active force with the capacity to change it, which is why you cannot use your mind to change your mind. Using your mind to change your mind requires a change in belief, which is some heavy lifting of the nearly impossible kind. If you were able to do that and untangle the root of what distracts and derails you, you would have done it. Because you have to convince yourself by contradicting your habituated thoughts, assumptions, judgments, and worldviews accumulated over decades, perhaps lifetimes, and likely instilled in you before you were even aware of thinking or believing anything. And by contradicting the anatomy and functioning of your brain, which is wired to protect your survival through negativity bias and a preference for certainty over uncertainty. To untangle the root of what's distracting and derailing you, you need a practice that your mind doesn't consciously understand, but that meets another understanding within you. You need a practice that your mind cannot pretend to understand, so that it can then take charge, and that it will not criticize, snark, or otherwise use to distract you, so that it will cut through and metabolize the dense, inevitable tangle of your habituated thoughts and feelings, and you will not need to convince yourself in order to change them. Rather, you will discern clearly between what is true and useful and what is not. And you will experience the difference and the change in you. You will begin to experience your wisdom and your bliss. You will lean into the truth in any situation. And you will begin to identify with that. When you do, your karma will cease to bind you to its pattern of habituated thoughts, feelings, and actions. And you will be able to think, feel, and act in new ways, free of it. You need to engage the essential elements of your karma, energy and action. To successfully untangle the root of what distracts and derails you, you also need to engage the essential elements of your karma, energy and action, so that you can untangle what your karma is, where it is. Energy and action make karma what it is, and they tell you how and where you create it, and how and where you continue to experience it. For your spiritual practice to effectively untangle your karma, it must speak the language of your karma, which is energy in the form of the sound vibration of your life force. And it must engage you in action, both in your practice and in your life. Energy. Your karma is energetic. It is an energetic memory of a pattern of past action, expressed as a pattern of interference in the vibrational frequencies of your chakras. That interference modulates how you experience the flow of your life force and the flow of the sacred, and it shapes how you experience yourself and how you experience life. It is here, in your energy body, that your karma is most persistent. As long as the pattern continues to exist in your energy body, you will continue to experience it in your life, and you will carry it with you into your next life. Because while your physical body and your mind dissolve when you die, your prana does not. This means that to untangle the root of what's distracting and derailing you, you need to untangle it in your energy body, where it disrupts the flow of your life force. With practices designed to powerfully and precisely harmonize its interference in the flow of your life force through your chakras. By using the language of your chakras, vibration, and prana, in a way that's specific to where and how your karma creates the interference. Your current practices likely don't do this, or don't do it with sufficient specificity and precision to allow you to untangle the root of it. Action. Karma is a spiritual law of action, an energetic memory of your habituated and accumulated past actions as a soul. Untangling its interference in the flow of your life force will clear the way for you to act in a new way that untangles your karma. It can bring about surprising shifts in seemingly intractable situations on its own. But to fully untangle the root of what distracts and derails you, So that you can do the work you know you are meant to do, you will need to act to break its pattern. Each time that you act without karma, you strengthen your connection to the sacred. You reinforce your identification with yourself rather than your habituated fluctuation of thoughts and feelings. You cultivate your lived wisdom, and you weave together the threads of the work that wants to come through you in a way that you are uniquely, perfectly, and naturally constituted for. There is a story in the great epic myth of the Ramayana that, as taught to me, explains this phenomenon of your needing to act and your relationship with the sacred in it. Rama, that's you, and also the sacred, is on a quest to find Sita, his beloved, who has been kidnapped by the demon Ravana. All of these are aspects of both the sacred and you. Hanuman, Rama's best friend and devoted servant, and also the sacred, specifically as prana, who possesses superhuman strength and the ability to fly, scouts out where Sita is hidden. Hanuman has the ability to rescue Sita and reunite her with Rama, and he could, but he does not. Instead, he tells Rama where Sita is and how to get there. Rama receives information from Hanuman that guides him, but Rama has to act himself. Hanuman does not act for him. In fact, he intentionally refrains, because Rama needs to reclaim that which is most sacred to him. It is only through acting that Rama is whole. So it is for you. Your current practices likely cannot untangle your karma. To successfully untangle a karmic knot, you need a practice that does all of these things simultaneously. If you have not yet been able to untangle the root of what distracts and derails you from the work that you really want to do, or how you really want to do it, and you feel like you've done everything, your current practices likely either do not interrupt time to work in and with the present moment, do not interrupt your mind to metabolize that relentless and repetitive stream of your thoughts and feelings into wisdom about what's true and what is not. Do not affect your energy body by using the language of your energy body, or do not require you to act in both your practice and your life. So they are not effectively reaching it, and they cannot effectively untangle it. There's nothing wrong with your practices. They just aren't designed for this. An invitation to reflect on your practices. What practices are you currently using? What have they allowed you to untangle? Offer them and yourself gratitude. Celebrate. What are you still wanting to untangle? Why might your current practices not be able to untangle it? Are they not interrupting time or your mind? Are they not engaging your energy or your action? What do you now need a practice to do, which you might not have needed in the past, so that you can finally untangle it? You need a mantra. The practice of chanting Sanskrit mantra will do all of the things necessary to untangle your karmic knot simultaneously. It interrupts time. It unhooks your identity from your habituated perpetual wave of thoughts and feelings and roots it in your eternal essential self. It works within your energy body using the language of your energy body. And it engages you in the action of untangling it for yourself simultaneously. It was discerned and developed for this purpose, and it is the primary tantric practice for untangling karma, which makes it different from the other work that you've done and effective for this purpose where your other practices might not have been. It is the primary practice I use in working with my clients to untangle the root of what distracts and derails them so that they can do the work they know they are here to do and lead the way they know they are here to lead. And it is the practice that I share with you here. My experience and what has been reflected back to me by clients is that the practice of mantra, when tailored to exactly what's happening with you, can reach and untangle what has otherwise been unreachable, perhaps even unnameable. Because a mantra works directly with the root of what's distracting and derailing you, where it exists, by speaking to it in its own language of sound vibration and prana. There is no abstraction and no translation or mediation. It's direct. You actually don't even need to understand it. It is targeted specifically to how your karma creates interference in the flow of your prana through your chakras and how you experience that interference. And it is the vibrational fabric of the universe itself.
We will be using the practice of mantra and intention to untangle your karmic knots in my upcoming 3-part workshop series, Intention, Sacred Practice, and Strategic Precision. This series offers a progression of skill development and experiential wisdom that will grow your ability to effectively use your spiritual practice to evolve your body of work, while preserving the sacredness and integrity of the practice itself. You can click the link for the workshop series in the show notes to learn more, and feel free to reach out to me with questions or to help consider which option would be best for you.